This is part 5 of the Craftsman King Seeley 150 drill press rebuild series. If you haven't seen part 4, click the link at the top of the screen. In this video, we will be cleaning up parts with wire wheels. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff and welcome to my shop. We got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. Before we get to the wire wheeling, we need to remove the column from the citric acid soak that we put it in part 4. It's now been 24 hours. I'm just going to dump the citric acid on the ground, rinse off the column. We'll towel dry that and set it aside and get to that in video number 6. So here we are with the head. And what I typically like to do is clean up the nose on the head. And I'm doing this with an angle grinder and a cutoff wheel initially, and then we'll move on to a file and then eventually a Scotch-Brite pad on the angle grinder as well. But I like to paint the head in 2 different colors, and this helps to separate the color of the nose area from the rest of the head. So down near the bottom there, that separation is not as defined as I like, so I usually enhance that separation a little bit. Now I've seen some people actually go back in and fill in some of these voids with like a Bondo or something, but yeah, I'm not interested in doing that. And the color we're going to paint that nose area is going to be a hammered finish anyways. So some texture is not a problem. Next we're going to wire wheel the head, and so this is just a large wire wheel brush that I've got on the angle grinder. And while we've got it in this position, we'll get what we can get from this angle. Now you can see that there's a layer of surface rust that's already developed on the head casting, and that's just going to happen. I mean, the only other way to get rid of that would be to wipe down the head with some mineral spirits, but I try to avoid using the mineral spirits. I've not had a problem with paint reacting to it, but I just don't want to put anything on the parts that I'm going to paint prior to painting them. So I'm using various brushes to get into some of those nooks and crannies that are a little bit tighter in tolerance. You can't get to them with that large wire wheel. But we're gonna wire wheel the entire exterior of the head casting. If there was any paint left, this would help remove it. And when it comes to the interior, I'm just going to highlight that back deck area there around the column bore, the overall lip of the top, and that lip above the spindle pulley assembly bores. Next we're going to clean out the bores, and for this we're just going to use more wire brushes. And when we're getting ready to go paint, we will mask off all of those bores. We don't want to get any paint in them, but for now we're just going to clean them out. So pro tip, anytime you're utilizing one of these small bottle brushes in a threaded hole, turn your drill to the reverse setting so that you're not screwing into the hole and it won't break off your brush. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill in those 2 holes where the switch box was mounted. We're going to be using this PC7. It's a 2-part epoxy, and once it's cured, it's machinable. So I like it. It sticks to almost everything, and so we just equal amounts, A and B, mix it up. And then we're going to start filling those two holes from the back side. Smooth that out. Fill them on the front side. You can use a little bit of water to smooth it, and then we'll come back with a piece of sandpaper and kind of just press the sandpaper into it, and that gives it kind of that same texture as the cast iron. And once it's cured and you prime and then you paint, you won't even notice it. So here we are with the base, and we're going to wire wheel it. And the first thing I'm going to do is try to get all that paint off of there. And we'll work our way around. I'm going to brace the bottom of it up a little bit with some 2x4s under it. And that lets me get that outer lip. Then we'll come back and clean up the bores for the column. And we'll flip it over, get that bottom bore for the column. There's 3 of them. And then we'll go ahead and just do that outer lip again on the underside. Not really worried about the rest of the underside. And once we've primed it and painted it, all that rust that's there will stop. So here we are with the table and cleaning out the bore initially and then getting the outer lip. And we'll do the top side. So this table is in pretty good condition. A little bit of pitting, you can kind of see it there. Clean out the rest of those bores. Then we're going to go ahead and just try to clean up that table milled surface area a little better. So here I'm just using some sanding discs on this orbital sander. We're going to start with 100. We'll go 100, 120, 220, and then 320, and stop it at that point. So there's a boss, a raised area around the column bore and that hole to the right of it, which is where you're supposed to store your chuck key. And I like to polish up both of those bosses as well. You don't want to get like a super polished effect on the milled surface of the table. Otherwise, light bouncing off of it's just going to work against you when you're trying to drill and stuff. So we just want to make sure it's relatively clean and we can see that milled surface free of most of the defects. So here we are with the stator, and we're going to clean it up. Start with some compressed air, and then I've got this CRC contact cleaner that I use to clean all the electrical stuff. We're just trying to get it as cleaned up as possible. Then we're going to mask off the windings and all of those lead wires. And this is just one step we won't have to do again once we get ready to paint. But we're doing it now so that we can wire wheel the outside of the stator and hopefully not damage any of those windings. Because you break one of the wires on the windings and this motor will be toast. Alright, so there is a decal on the motor because this is a general purpose motor. We're going to remove that decal. Now you can buy replacements of these off of eBay. And I've got a buddy over on Garage Journal Forum that can remake just about anything as far as decals and panels and whatnot. But I normally don't reapply that. I've tried to save the sticker and re-adhere it, and that's not worked out so well. Anyways, all we're doing here is wire wheeling the stator. And I've just got 2 pieces of aluminum that I'm sticking into the bottom of it right at the lip, and then clamping those to my bench, and that keeps it from rolling away and keeps us from touching the windings in any way. And that is the stator. And that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. In the next video, we're going to be polishing the column. If you got any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. As always, I appreciate the support, and I will see you next time.